You're watching Fine and Dandy. Cheers.
Hi, my name's Cameron, and you need to check out the Fine and Dandy podcast.
You are now watching Fine and Dandy.
Watch the Fine and Dandy podcast. Good shit.
Hey, what's up? We're Soe, and you're watching Fine and Dandy.
Hey everyone, it's your boy Blacasso, and you're tuning in with Fine and Dandy.
You are now watching Fine and Dandy!
Bueno, sí.
Thank you guys for tuning in to another week of the podcast, the Fine and Dandy podcast. We are here this week with a guest I'm glad to have on. It's one of my good friends. Grew up with him. We were in band together for, I don't know, like 7 or 8 years. Kind of had a long journey. Glad to have you on today, Eric. I appreciate you for stopping by.
Yeah, no problem, man.
Yeah, have you in the studio this week. So, Eric, we what was it, last night or yesterday all day you had a competition, I believe?
Yep.
How'd that go?
It was a long day, but it went well.
So a little bit of background. Whenever you say competition, he's talking about a band competition, and this was where at exactly?
This was in College Station at Reed Arena.
Okay, hell yeah.
Yeah, and you Willis High School, right?
Yep.
Yeah, hell yeah. Band director. He actually stuck, unlike me, he stuck with music. Well, I guess in a different way. But yeah, he stuck with music past high school, went to college, all that good stuff as well. How was going to school for music?
It was tough. It's a lot of work. People don't realize how much work goes into music. It's a lot of classes. It's a lot of hours. If you look like at the degree plan, it doesn't, or the hours, it doesn't look like as much because a lot of the music degree, a lot of the classes that you take are like 1 credit hour, even though you're like in some of those classes for like 4 hours. So it doesn't look like it adds up, but it's a lot of work. You take a lot of classes to get through the music degree.
Why is it set up that way? Do they have it set up that way because there's that many classes you need to go through? Or I mean, so to get your music degree, is there a less amount of hours required? Or is there just they have it like as less credit hours so they can fit more classes into that requirement?
I think they do that. All the classes that we have to take are necessary, but I think they do that with the credit hours because if they put as many credit hours that we actually take, I think that our tuition would be like really expensive. So I think they're trying to save us a little bit on the cost.
So they know that it's gonna take about 4 hours, but to like save you some money and maybe even like make your workload look lighter type shit, it only looks as if it, or counts as if it's 1 credit.
Yeah, that's my guess. I don't know if that's exactly what's happening, but like I just know if we had as many credit hours as we actually do, it'd be really expensive.
That exchange would be a little bit different.
Yeah.
That's not including all the after hours stuff you're doing, huh?
Yep.
Did you do marching band at first?
I did do marching band.
Or what's it called? It's called something different, right?
It's just marching band. Yeah,
okay.
It's still marching band.
Yeah, stupid.
Yeah.
It's a little different though. Y'all are mostly just doing creating pictures, right? I mean, that's what you're doing in marching band, but it's a little bit different.
No, that's art class.
Yeah.
Nice. So did you like marching? You only did that for 1 semester, or did you do that for the whole first?
No. So you still only do that during the fall semester, but I think you're required to do it for 3 years.
Oh, really?
Or something like that. 2 years or 3 years. I can't remember.
The marching band?
Yeah, it's part of your if you're a music major, it's part of your degree plan. So you still have to do marching band. And it's different from different music degrees. So like if you're a music education major, I think you have to do it for 3 years. If you're a performance major, you may have to do it for a year or 2 or not at all. I can't remember. It's different for the different paths of music you do.
So music education, is it all is it just a bachelor's? Is that what the the full extent of it, or do you have to go longer?
No, you can only do a bachelor's if you want to, but you can also get your master's or your doctorates in education as well if you want to.
Yeah, that's just for like.
Yeah, increased pay, or like if you want to teach at the collegiate level, I believe you have to get at least have a master's, and then you can go get your doctorates if you just want to further your education or
Which I'm
do
sure
more.
does help. Yeah,
I mean, it does help,
especially in the collegiate level. You know, when you're teaching the college kids, because that's preparing you to be. You have to know it so well. You're teaching these kids the music like the back of your hand. Because I just remember when we were drumline together. You know, Mr. Summer doing it. That man did it all. Honestly, I can't give that man enough credit. Every time I think about it, like, looking back on it now, that's insane. He was like he entrusted us so much in learning that we had to teach ourselves and then come together and learn. Do you remember that?
Dude, I talk about that with Nathan, Joish, and Jerry all the time with what's the piece? Shifty. Like he kind of handed us that piece and then like we kind of learned it and he would come in and like check to make sure that we were doing the stuff correctly. And he'd be like, all right, cool. So we kind of learned that piece ourselves.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
He trusted us a lot, though. So, but I mean, most of the kids now, I don't know if he would trust as much. But, I mean, basically, because he was one man. You know, we didn't have
One man, one sound.
Yeah, right. One band, one sound. Drum line, right? But basically, I mean, one teacher. Most bigger bands have at least 2 percussion teachers.
Yeah.
You know, one for especially marching season, one for pit and one for drumline.
Yep.
You know, if not a head
Have like
band
a
director
head person
and,
and like an assistant,
Yeah,
like
you know,
percussion person.
We had one guy, and then maybe a tech during. No, he would hire the techs during the summer.
During the summer,
Like, we'd
like
have
summer marching or summer camps, really.
And then half the time it'd be a snare tech, and then the tenor drums and the bass drums would be like, "All right, you guys go,
Yep.
y'all go figure it out." And then we would just basically be in there teaching ours. But we did practice it. We weren't just. There was a good portion of time we were fucking. But we also did actually stick to it. Mr. Summer did it all though, because he would do the pit, which is, you know, all the marimbas and xylophones, bells, like all that stuff, wind chimes, and then he would basically spend most of the time with them, send us off, and then bring us all back together to perform, which is insane to think of. Like, is it just you, or do you have somebody else?
So it was pretty much me, but I knew that was going to be a lot, so I was able to get the band director, the head band director, to agree bringing on 2 techs. So the 2 techs that I have are also from Sam Houston State.
Nice.
So one of them I went to school with throughout the whole time that I was there, pretty much. I think he got there like a year after me. And then the other tech I didn't go to school with, but a couple of people recommended him to me, so he came on board as well.
Nice.
Yeah.
It must help out a lot, though.
Oh yeah, it was a bunch of help. So
When it comes down to it, I'm sure, like, you look at it and you're thinking about doing all that by yourself, like, oh, that's a lot of work.
yeah.
Do all by yourself. Like, I think about it. I'm like, I don't know how. Especially, you have to trust the kids at that point to do all, like, to go practice by themselves. Because if not,
yeah. I don't have as much experience as Mr. Summer, so like I don't have the experience to do all of that by myself just yet. So
and then it's
a
also
little bit of help definitely helps.
It's also like, you know, breaking down the technique, and then you know, how like trying to teach them the music, but also like trying to teach the kids values as well. Like it's a lot. Yeah,
it's a lot. So
bands was like I'd say like a big factor in like who I am as a person now.
Me too.
How many hours do we spend, you know?
Too many.
I mean, you especially, you know, especially in college, you know, I'm sure you got close with all, because like, you know how it was in high school, you spend all that time with those people.
Yep.
I'm sure college was the same thing. You probably have a lot of close friends now that you know, from basically living in the band hall. I'm pretty sure. You know,
I don't know how many hours I spent in that music building, but I know I spent more hours in that music building than any other place on that campus. So yeah.
Yeah, I would imagine, and I mean, as well as everybody else who's probably taking those classes. Jake was in those with you too, huh?
Yep, and I still talk to him a lot, man. I help him out, and he helps me out. Actually, just between the last 2 weeks, I spent a lot of time at his school helping him and his kids out, because they had like UIL coming up, and they had their percussion concert and stuff coming up. So I went down to his school and pretty much did like master classes at his school, helping out his kids in their percussion ensembles for his concert.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome though that you're able to kind of do that.
Yep.
And y'all kind of help each other out and stuff. Sam Houston, I feel like has also a lot of like. It's pretty good. It's because it's a music school, right? Well, not a music school,
It's
but
not
like
yeah.
a really good music school.
They have a really good music program.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Which really, I guess, helps out a lot. 'Cause I feel like everyone I talked to that went to school for music went to Sam Houston.
Well, Joeycia did, Chandler did, I did, Jacob did.
Jake
So,
did.
yep.
Was there any? No, there was a couple other people, right? I feel like.
I know a few people that went there that didn't go for music.
Actually, Sam Houston. Almost everyone I know that went to Sam Houston graduated, though. I will say.
Yeah, I did that. I would say that as well. I know a lot of people that went there to like party and ended up like getting on the straight and narrow, getting their degree, and now they have like good jobs and shit. And so like I don't know, maybe Sam Houston's got like a
It's a
good
pretty
juju
good school,
going on.
man. It's a pretty good school. I liked it.
What is
Yeah.
it,
So-
the Bearcats? Or
Yep,
the
Bearcats. Eat 'em up, cats. There you go.
Their,
Wait,
their
is
team
a
was doing pretty good, I
Bearcat?
think I remember.
What?
What is a
when you-
Bearcat? Is a Bearcat like a cat? Or is
I
it-
don't know.
is it a
Bear?
I've
bear?
never seen one in real life. I don't know what it
know.
is.
It's just like someone was telling me about. There's another type of cat. Or someone was
A
telling.
bobcat. You were
Bobcat.
telling us a bobcat is a mountain lion. We were
Yeah,
like,
that's what I
"Wow,
heard, but I don't
think
know."
it is.
That's what, but
I
bobcats
think
are also
they're
just
separate.
cat. But bobcat looks like just like a big cat.
It does. It kind of
does.
really does.
Well,
Like
I
a
don't know what a
bigger
Bearcat is,
house
though.
cat
Yeah.
almost, but like not like. But that's what I'm saying. A mountain lion is like different. I feel like.
They're the same family. It doesn't matter. Anyways,
Yeah, but
Dude,
so
yeah,
is a
no
fucking
one's
regular lion and a cheetah, and they look nothing alike.
are they related?
Yes, they're all cats, right?
They're all related somehow.
Whatever. So, nice. How did that competition end up going for y'all? Yeah, last night.
Hey, they
Yes,
had a great performance. I mean, we didn't score how we wanted to, but they had a great performance. They all had a good day. It was a really long day, but
Was it only one performance? Did y'all perform? Was it like prelims, finals type
no,
of thing?
it's just
How does
one
it-
performance because like the performances went from like I don't know 8 a.m. all the way till the last performance was at like 9:58. There was no room for finals.
Oh man.
So yeah, it's just one long day of performances.
So what does the day look like for you usually?
Like
told me
on those
earlier it was like a-
performances.
What?
Oh, like for like
Yeah, setting up, like getting ready for the. This is
Alright.
this is for. By the way, if you guys, this is we'll go into
It's a little
outdoor.
inside baseball
Yeah.
here.
Basically, this is indoor marching, which is going to be a little bit different than outdoor marching. It's a whole different aspect. Well, I mean, it's similar, but a whole different ball game. I'll let you kind of.
All right, so I'll set up what yesterday was like for me. So yesterday was the Texas Indoor Percussion Championship. So this was the last indoor contest of the season for pretty much the TCGC circuit, which is Texas Color Guard circuit. Yeah, so yeah, it's the Texas Color Guard circuit. But this is the percussion version of it, so not the
Okay.
color guard. Yeah. So yesterday we got up at, or at least I got up at 5:30 because I told my kids we had to be at school at 7 o'clock so we could rehearse. So I got up at 5:30, like got ready, got dressed, and I got to the school at 6:30 so that I could be there a few minutes before the kids. They all arrived pretty much right between 6:45, 7 o'clock. We got everything set up for rehearsal. We started rehearsal at 7:30. We rehearsed from 7:30 to 8.
Mm-hmm.
We had a rehearsal, loaded the trailer. Just stuff happens. Apparently our trailer had 2 flat tires, not one, but 2 flat
good.
tires.
That's really
yeah, that's
good.
the way to start the day, stressed.
That's
all right?
really good.
Yeah, that is great. So, Mr. Cruz, who was driving our trailer for the day,
Shout out, Mr. Cruz.
shout out to Mr. Cruz. He was on top of it. He took our trailer to a nearby shop, and just thankfully, one of our students who works at that shop was able to get our 2 tires fixed like super fast and got our
bro.
stuff
What are the
back.
chances?
What are
Bro,
the
that's what I'm
chances
saying.
of that? Yeah, one of
Shout
our
out to that
students.
student.
Yes.
You're having a
So-
job at a
Like,
tire shop.
what
like,
are the
randomly.
odds of that happening? Got
not-
our 2 tires fixed and Mr. Cruz got our truck back to the school. We loaded up. we left like 10 minutes late, but it's okay because when I made our itinerary, I always add like 30 extra minutes for travel just in case something happens. Guess what? Something happened that morning.
Let's go.
Our two
Aaron,
tires.
Preparing.
I
Preparation.
sure did. So we got on the thing, all of our stuff loaded, got on the bus, we left and headed for College Station. We got there, we unloaded, we got there about like 10 o'clock, so we got there like right on time.
Oh shit.
So we added that
what time
extra.
did the competition start?
The competition started before like at 8 o'clock in the morning. We got there at 10 because we didn't perform till 11:40.
Okay,
Oh,
so
there's a
y'all
band performing
slot
at 8?
was at 11.
Yes, the first group went on like at 8 something that morning. I
That's
believe.
crazy.
Yeah, so
I would hate to judge a competition like that. You're just judging stuff from 8 a.m. to what time is like the last performance?
the last performance went on at 9:58.
That's like what 14 hours of judging performances.
Yeah.
Have you had to judge? Has judging is that like a part of any of your curriculum, or like since you're a teacher now, have you had to judge?
Yes, I've had to judge stuff before. Normally we have to judge like region band tryouts and stuff like that. So yeah, I've had to judge stuff
grueling.
before.
Like you're sitting there all just
It's
listening
a
to the
lot.
same piece.
Yes. So at least judging stuff like this is probably better because everybody has different shows. But like for like region band auditions, everybody's playing the same exact piece, and there's like 200 students. So yeah.
With that being said, with the
That's
same
like
piece,
torture
how
a
do you
little bit.
really judge who's? I guess you could tell the good ones from the bad ones, but what
Yeah.
about those kind of because it's all
Dude,
gonna sound the same
yeah,
after a
after
while.
a
It's gotta sound
while,
the same, right?
Like you get to a point where everybody is kind of like in the same ballpark, and it just you have to like you get really nitpicky with everything, and that's kind of
It's probably
Yeah.
like I feel like you do. Do you have to have like what's it called a perfect pitch? Do you have to have perfect pitch?
you
like,
don't have to
necessarily?
have
Because,
perfect
like,
pitch.
If you know what it's supposed to sound like, and then you hear all these other people playing it, then like you could compare it to that, right? Then like judge it based on that. But
Well,
like,
you don't have to have like perfect pitch for it. We get like the sheet music, so we
Okay.
can like we get to see what they're playing.
Mhm.
So like we don't have to like memorize it or anything. Like we get
Gotcha.
the sheet of music, we get to see.
and you can kind of tell like
Yeah.
when something's like right on or
Yes.
off type shit.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I mean,
I don't have.
and it's not
that.
even like just like the pitches and stuff. Like a lot of kids will come in, play the wrong pitches, of course. So you kind
Okay.
of got to know what it sounds like, and then also play wrong rhythms and stuff. So like that happens a lot. But like with the pitches, like we teach those pieces like all the way up until the tryouts because our kids are also playing those. So like I know what the piece sounds like before I go in most of the time.
Have there's been any moments like in your teachings where you're like teaching a piece and you fuck up like while you're teaching it?
Oh yeah, of course. And I'm just like, my bad. I just go do it again. So
Oh yeah, dude.
yeah,
we're all human. You got
exactly.
Yeah,
So-
that's a long day though. Just listening to the same
I was
piece.
gonna ask though, like whenever you were saying like, cause he mentioned the word grueling, and I was thinking, I was like, is it more grueling to do like the behind the scenes director stuff, or was it like more grueling to actually like be on the front lines in the band doing like all the steps and learning the pieces and stuff? Like, would you compare like what you do now more grueling to what you had to do to get where you are, or like?
I think
how do you feel about
now
it?
I think it's a little bit more because I don't know. It's kind of different, especially it's just I don't know if it's like more time consuming or doing it like with like now in the teaching perspective, you like do stuff and you're doing it over and again and again. I mean, I know you did that like while I was a student,
Right.
but now you have like a whole class full of kids. This kid may not get it now, then they might get it, and then somebody else doesn't get it, or somebody wasn't understanding it, and you have to keep repeating it. And then, oh, Sally wasn't here yesterday. Now we got to reteach this. So it's like a constant. You have
Right.
to repeat yourself a lot, and and then
Always
also
something new to
yes,
tackle.
always something new. Then also now you're like teaching a bunch of different classes, and then it gets like really tiring because
get
it's
that.
just a lot. It's a lot of stuff.
Are you
and-
sleeping well?
Some days. Some days, yeah, some days not. But I think part of it, I think it's like you kind of get past that. But I think part of it is like more grueling just because I've just had like health issues these past 2 years, and I think it's bringing me down a little bit more. And I think that's why it's like a little bit more grueling. If it wasn't for that, I think I'd be able to keep up a little bit more. So I think that's the reason why.
You're trying to get back in your rhythm.
Yes,
now,
I'm trying to get back.
Because you had this, like, because you started and you had to take all that time off.
Yep.
Which is it's awesome though that the school worked with you a lot too, and they because was Willis the original? No, Willis wasn't the original.
Yeah, it was not. My first job was at West Side High School in HISD.
Okay.
And yeah, West Side. But I got my job there, and before the August even came around, so before the school year even started, I had been diagnosed with cancer. So I like applied, signed for the job, like signed my contract, and got the job, and then like. I started summer band, like moved into my office and stuff, started teaching. And then I think like the first week of August, I told my dad, I was like, hey, I've been having these headaches, blah, blah, blah. I need to, like, what should I do? My dad was like, hey, come down to my ER, because my dad's an ER doc. And he was like, come down to my ER. We'll get you some scans, to rule everything out. So like August 1st, I moved into my apartment over there in Houston. August 4th was my birthday. August 5th, I went down to my dad's ER and saw that they saw I had a brain tumor. And then by like August 6th, I was at MD Anderson getting like more like scans and follow-ups and stuff. And we found out soon, like after they did like all this blood work, and found out that my tumor was like cancerous. So all within like 7 days. Now,
that's a fast.
It was
like it
moved real fast. So yeah, pretty much they kept me on staff. I was kind of like on a medical like type leave, but then I figured out like this wasn't going to end as soon like as we thought. So I ended up having to resign from that job without working like a day in the actual classroom. Like I did summer band, so we were outside doing stuff. Like I did like a week or two summer band, and
right before school. started.
Right before school started. Like I figured out that I had a brain tumor. So
yeah, I mean,
so that didn't work out.
I don't think the school will figure it out. Like, this is definitely more important.
Yep.
But I mean, that in itself. I mean, do you want to talk about your journey on like the cancer side?
Yeah, I don't mind.
Okay. So because I've always not always, but I have been interested in like the journey about it. Like, were you told at any point that like you weren't gonna make it, or was there any doctors that like read that maybe the diagnosis wrong, or like how was your journey in that like beginning stage?
So I didn't have anyone say that they didn't think I was gonna make it, because the tumor. Yes,
good.
I'm glad that I was told that.
So I'm guessing you guys caught it like pretty early.
Yeah,
that's good.
So the one thing that was interesting, the tumor cancer that I had, apparently it was a pretty rare one, but it was a very treatable one. Apparently the one that I have had, it was something that kind of presents itself at birth, apparently. So they think that I could have had this thing for a very long time, and then it just sitting, but
crazy.
didn't do anything. And then at some point it just decides to finally start to kind of grow or whatever. And they think that just recently it decided to start doing its thing, and that's when I started having my headaches and stuff like that. So what is it called? The tumor or whatever, it was a pineal gland tumor, which is a tumor that sits literally on the pineal gland, which is a very little gland that's in the third ventricle of your brain. I know that's a bunch of medical talk. I don't even know where exactly that is, but
I couldn't tell you.
Yeah, me either. But I had a bunch of hydrocephalus, which is a bunch of fluid buildup in your brain, and that's what. Oh, my voice just cracked. Anyways, that's what was causing my headaches actually. So that's what alerted my headaches, and so when they went and finally did my scans, that's what they saw. They saw a bunch of fluid in my brain. So if it wasn't for that, I probably would have never had the headaches. So when they did my brain surgery, that's the second major surgery I've had. But
Right. Wait, what was the first one?
I had
Scoliosis.
spinal fusion
Oh,
surgery because I had
shit.
scoliosis
You had your
back in high
spine
school.
Fused?
Yeah. So it's called spinal fusion, but it's when I have 2 titanium rods going down my spine.
Going to the airport must be fun.
It's actually so the titanium doesn't set off the metal detectors,
Oh,
but when I
really?
go in the X-ray thing, I think they can actually see them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That
So,
makes sense.
Yeah.
I know this is messed up, but we used to make a lot of jokes.
Oh,
We used to make
Yep.
a lot of jokes back in the
Yep.
day about the
I
scoliosis.
used to be
Definitely messed
they
up.
called me like lightning rod.
No.
Yep. Yeah. Actually, Ryan Kennedy still calls me that every now and
That's
then.
hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nothing was
So,
safe.
back to
Yeah.
Back to the where was I in the
your second major surgery. The fluids were built up.
the
you
fluid.
had-
So when they did my brain surgery, they didn't even take the tumor out because it where the pineal gland is actually. It would have been. They probably would have done more damage trying to take that out because of where it's located in my brain. It's too
Okay.
far. Like,
Right.
yeah, they didn't want to try to do that. So what they did was put a shunt in to drain all the fluid so that it would go back where it's supposed to go. So it would relieve the pressure in my brain. So that's all they did there. And then shortly after they did that, they started my chemo treatments.
Okay.
So yeah.
And how was that chemo? Like, it seems like that's what takes a lot of people out.
Yeah, so that was rough. I handled it better than they thought I would. It was
Okay.
good. I mean, I had all the nausea and the vomiting and stuff, but it was rough. But I handled it about as well as I could. After I finished the chemo, I had radiation, which also still, I mean, was
That
still
wasn't
kind of rough. I mean, because I had brain radiation and spine radiation.
Oh, man.
So that was rough. And even for a while, you could actually see like where it was because I had like a dark mark down from like here all the way down like the center of my body. You could see like where I was radiated. So
That's crazy.
after that was done, I mean, I still had all the nausea and vomiting. And then I had a stem cell transplant, which most people don't really know what that is, but I had a CVC line in my chest where they took my my own stem cells out of my body. They harvested them, and then after my transplant, they gave my own stem cells back. So with the stem cell stuff, they took my stem cells out, and then after they did the transplant, so the transplant consisted of me of having 7 7 like doses of high dose chemo. So the highest dose of chemo that my body could pretty much handle. I was sick as a dog, dude.
Yeah.
It was horrible, and those doses of chemo made me vomit, diarrhea, like all types of stuff. I think that thing brought me as close to death as possible before making me better. Like
Yeah.
it was horrible. All my like blood cell counts, like my white blood cells were at 0, so I had no immune system whatsoever.
Holy crap.
Yeah, like I looked horrible. I think I still have like pictures on my phone from what I looked like. I mean, I had like all these, like it looked like a rash like on my face and chest. Like it was horrible.
Jesus.
Yeah, so that was just bad. I felt like a whole different person in
I
the worst
bet.
way possible.
Yeah, like feel like you like maybe a shell of yourself.
Yeah,
I mean, not
honestly.
even a whole different person. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like, just,
and during that time, I had to be in the hospital for a month straight. I couldn't come home at all because if I got in some time if I got some type of infection while my blood's count was at 0, I could have literally died. Like so, like I couldn't get like sick at all. So I had to stay in the hospital for a month straight until I got better. So yeah, that was probably the roughest part of my treatment. I think that was worse than like the chemo and radiation, like combined was the stem cell transplant.
because of the recovery process.
Yes.
Did you say like you were thinking a lot during time, like you were flooded with a lot of thoughts, or do you think you more so there was just so much going on you didn't even have time to?
I could think, but like I was just thinking, dude, why is this happening to me? Like, why am I having to go through this? Like,
Right.
I think most of you that were like like most of my friends that were keeping up with me at that time, like on social media, I presented myself like I was, I was positive about the whole thing. But I think during that stem cell transplant, like to myself, I was like, bro,
That was the worst part of
that
it.
was the worst part of my entire treatment. Like, I
nothing positive.
Yeah.
Around type shit.
Like to the world, I was like, I'm making it through this, but to myself, I was like, bro, I don't know if I can make it through this. I was trying to be positive, mostly for my family, because I know my mom was struggling, like seeing me like that. My dad was struggling seeing me like that.
It's hard, yeah. On everybody.
So like I know my mom was talking to me, and she said one of those nights my dad like went back home to get some get clothes. I was like by myself at the hospital like one of those nights, and and I don't know if he's told anybody else this, but he went home, got some clothes and took like a home shower instead of the hospital shower, which is probably way better at home.
Great decision, Dad.
But apparently he, for real, he went home and apparently my mom was asleep, and apparently he was like crying, and my mom was like, "What's going on? Is Eric okay?" Blah blah blah, and he was like, "Yeah," and he was just like, "Why the fuck is this happening to Eric? Like, out of all of the people, like, why is this happening to him?" So,
I think a lot of people feel like that, man.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing about life though is you just never.
So.
Always perfect timing, right? Life always has the best timing for you.
What?
And I
not
think
really, not really. Of course, it's just life, but never the best time.
Yeah,
Like you're
and I think he was just having a hard time because I was going through that, and at the same time, his sister was going through breast cancer. So we were literally patients at the same hospital.
She good too though?
She's doing well now. She beat it. So she's doing well. She had like some surgeries and stuff, but she was also going through cancer at the same time that I was. So we were just kind of leaning on each other. Like, we're gonna make it through this. But
well, that's good that you had someone in there that like you could rely on. You know,
Yeah.
what I mean? It wasn't like just strangers and nurses and doctors.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Obviously, your family was there, like through and through, but being able to have someone else that, I mean, you never want other people to be sick, but other people that are sick that know what you're going through to be able to like share with them about what their experiences as well.
Was the whole hospital cancer patients, like MD?
Most of that whole hospital is cancer
like
patients.
Specialist.
That's like a that's one of the biggest. Actually, most people don't know MD Anderson is one of the biggest cancer facilities and hospitals in the world. Yeah. So you're
getting good care.
I'm getting great care.
I've heard people fly down like out of state
I
and
have-
stuff. What?
I applied for a front desk position at MD Anderson.
Wow.
But I've met patients at that hospital from different countries, and so
Fly down,
like
it's
different
that good of-
countries, different continents that are here for.
Because if you want good cancer treatment, want someone to live, you're gonna take them to the best doctors.
And that's why I said, dude, I'm privileged to be able to get into that hospital as fast as I did.
My bad.
Yeah, I'm privileged I was able to get into that hospital as fast as I did.
Did you meet any other people while you were there, like that were kind of like going through like?
I've met a lot of people since I've been there, dealing with all different types of cancers. Actually, one of my really good friends that I still keep up with, I talk to him at least on a weekly basis. He's dealing with 2 different types of leukemia. And he's actually been told multiple times that he was going to die. And he's still living. He's still kicking it.
That's crazy.
I talk to him at least every week, a couple of times a week.
Like a survivor, right there.
Yeah.
That's insane. Twice?
Yes.
And he he's pushed past both. He's like, not this time.
Yeah, he's been told multiple times that he was going to die. He told me that one time he was sitting in the hospital and they told him he had like 15 minutes left to live. Yeah.
What? That's brutal news.
Yeah.
That's taxing on the
Imagine
mental.
though, like 20 minutes later, you're like, what the fuck? What'd you tell me that for, asshole?
Yeah, just trying to mess with me at that.
Yeah, like, is it April 1st?
Yeah, he has a good attitude though, man. He's been dealing with his thing longer than I have, and he's a good sport, man.
That's nice.
So I'm proud of him.
Yeah, I'm sure you got to come out stronger. Like at that point, you're used to dealing with it. Everything else kind of seems, not so big of a deal anymore. You're like, dude, off.
Yeah, he's such a cool dude. I love his story. So he's kicking it. He's hanging in there, and then just doing what he needs to do. So
Love that for him.
yeah.
How was the process getting back into everything? Because I mean, I'm sure like especially going, taking those months off and then that brutal month, I'm sure of just like themselves and just pushing through.
Yeah.
How like getting it readjusting? How was that process?
So man, it's still been tough. And like so after a while, I was like, all right, with the information I have, I was like, it's a while of like just kind of laying low and trying to recuperate and feeling like I'm getting better. It's like, all right, I think I can get back into it. And I was like, all right, I think I'm going to try to go back to work. And I did. I applied and came up to Willis, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna get back into it. Ended up working in a middle school up there, like full time, and then doing stuff at the high school as well. And I did that. So I came back this past August, and then actually started, which sucks. I actually started having post-treatment side effects, which is apparently a thing. So I started having bad headaches again and migraines. But I have had like all the scans, nothing's coming back. But apparently, some patients, not all patients, but some patients have these bad migraines and like nausea and stuff like that. So mine were getting bad. I actually had to go to the nurse's office like twice while I was teaching. I like almost passed out while teaching my students one time. I passed out at my house like while there by myself one time. So it started getting bad enough where I was like, okay, this is a time where my body's kind of stressed and I might need to take a step back from this. So I hadn't told a bunch of people this. I mean, the people that I work up with know this and like some of my close friends, but I ended up resigning from my job again. So like even right now, I'm not a full-time employee. I'm still teaching percussion right now, kind of like a part-time thing. But so I'm not a full-time employee right now, but everything is starting to get better. They think I just kind of needed some rest, and now I've been like in and out of doctor's appointments and everything. They found kind of like the right medications that I need to keep my body like on the get-go. Like for the first time since like November now, I have not had like any headaches for like for now on like 3 weeks. I like feel great. Like yesterday I had an 18-hour work day, no headaches. Didn't feel like I was gonna die or pass out or like anything, which is great.
Exhaustion.
Yes, yeah, I'm just tired because I had a long day. But yeah, if that contest that we had yesterday was like 3 months ago, I probably would have been at the hospital, by the middle of the day. But so I made it through that whole day. But I'm planning on going back to work in August. Just as long as I keep on my like steady,
path.
Yeah, path. Yeah, and I want to go back to my district. I have a house up there. I really don't want to have to move or leave. And I've already talked to the directors up there and stuff. So I want to go back. I miss my kiddos already, but I'm glad that I still like get to work with my percussionist up there.
That is nice. Yeah.
I'm glad they're working with you.
Yeah, dude, I love
really
that
nice.
district. I love the people that I work with and that they are working with me. So my voice keeps cracking. I don't know why
Hey,
today.
man, it's okay.
Good, dude.
No stress.
So it happens when I teach, dude. It's like when I talk a lot. So is when it
just start
happens.
getting-
Yep.
Yeah, I feel that.
I love when it happens when I'm teaching my kids and then they just like make fun of me. I'm like whatever. But my kids, dude, I love teaching my kids. They love me. So
Man,
Oh,
like,
yeah,
dude,
dude.
they make me happy, to be honest. Like they
That's
they
good.
make me like teaching. So
it's band, man. They're there. Like the thing about band kids, man. Not all of them, especially percussion though.
Yeah.
Most percussionists are there because they enjoy it.
Yeah.
It's like I don't know. Is it a bigger or smaller section? It's like a bigger section. I feel like than like most of the other sections.
Mine
Relative.
right now is smaller than most of our sections, but we're kind of like
It depends on the band. I'm sure
yeah,
there's
it
some
does.
with bigger percussions and some
Yeah.
with like other like specialists and other like maybe woodwinds or horns or whatever.
It just kind of depends on it depends on the band. Like ours is kind of smaller right now. We've just had a smaller group of percussionists lately. I think ours will grow because our middle schools kind of have a large percussion section. So, but yeah, dude, they're great. they make me laugh a lot.
Glad to hear that. I
Yeah.
think it's something like that long process too. Of
Yeah.
recovery. It's not just going through and the radiation,
Yeah.
and then it's like,
Recovery
and then
is
they're like,
it's a
it's like,
bitch.
hey, it's gone, but it's like that's not
No.
it. You're like, all right, there's still
Not
all this time
quite.
after. Yeah,
Yeah.
like the tumor's gone, but I
Yeah.
still gotta deal with the aftermath thing. But I mean, that's awesome to hear that they're working with you, and
Yeah.
also that you're feeling better. That's like what's
That's
most
really
important.
yeah.
Hey, you did an 18-hour workday. We actually got off topic too. We didn't finish. It was the 2 flat tires.
Oh yeah, we didn't finish the work day
Yeah,
story.
yeah, the whole. So you ended up showing up at 11. Y'all showed up at 10.
Around 10 at Reed Arena.
And y'all went on at 11.
Yeah, we went on at 11:40. After that, yeah, we got off. And then after we loaded the trailer, Mr. Cruz took the trailer back to the high school. And then I loaded all the kids up on the bus, and we went to Whataburger to get lunch. So that was dope. We all got Whataburger, and then we went back to Reed Arena and watched shows for the rest of the day. So we stayed at the at Reed Arena until about 10:05 after the last group got done performing. Got back on the bus and headed back to Willis High School. So
Man, I remember those
Yeah.
long days though. You just show up early. Like you gotta show up at school. Worst part is loading and unloading. I swear. You gotta get the timpani on there. You got marimbas. You
Ooh,
gotta undo.
thank God we didn't have any timpani.
No timpani.
Nope. For our indoor percussion section, like I said, we had a smaller group. Like for this indoor stuff, not all of our percussionists do this. This year was like, it was supposed to be like all the percussionists were supposed to be mandatory to do it, but like we didn't make it like mandatory this year, so only like the percussionists that wanted to do it did it this year, and it was like mostly the honor band percussionists and some of the symphonic band percussionists did it. So we only had like 13 percussionists do it this year. So we had a show that was like made for like 10 percussionists really, and then we added a couple extra parts. So it was only like and the show actually was pretty like drum percussion heavy. So it was only like 3 keyboards, and then a lot of other stuff was like auxiliary percussion. So it was like, it was kind of like a rack part. So a few toms, a synth part, a piano part. So another like synth. The first synth I was talking about was like the audio, the sound patches and stuff. So all that type of stuff. So yeah, we didn't have any like timpani and stuff like that. So one part I didn't clarify earlier. This wasn't like marching percussion type stuff. So in WGI, so I forgot to clarify this part. So in WGI, they have different classifications and stuff. So the one that we did is called Percussion Scholastic Concert A. So they have marching and they have concert. So we did the concert version, which is kind of like a front ensemble, pretty much. It's like almost like a percussion ensemble.
That's what
type
I was
thing.
thinking.
Yeah,
Of. Like it's
because
a big piece, but it's more people.
because we don't have enough percussionists to do like a marching type thing right now. Which I would like to do once maybe next year or two when we have a lot more percussionists in our program. I would love to do like a actual marching like classification.
Yeah,
that'd be awesome. It'd be a lot more work because now that we'd have to like design a show that has marching, and we'd probably have to order like, or have to buy like one of the floor mats and all that stuff. Like we'd have to go all out. So, which is a lot more money, but we'll get there when that happens. Yeah. So
with that being said, so with the concert version,
mm-hmm.
so to clarify for all the people who don't know marching band that well, so whether it's WGI, whether it's the marching, well, the marching aspect usually has uniforms or costumes, whatever you want to say.
We actually had costumes to go with our show because our show was called Heist, and our show was like about a bank robbery. So yeah,
kind of cool.
It was really cool.
The music was probably pretty.
Yeah.
Was it like really fast paced?
It was. I think the tempo was supposed to be like 164. I think we went like 148. But because it just kind of fit the show, like what we were doing.
But 164 is fast.
Yeah, it is. And it would have made our show like really short because the show wasn't that long. So if we would have went full tempo, it would have been like really short.
So,
yeah, and we also added like a pre-show to make it a little bit longer. So
So did y'all, and with that being said, also, so y'all did have the costumes. Did y'all also have like do people do a visual aspect for the concert as well? Because I know
We
talked
did a
about
little bit of visual stuff. Like we had like body movements and stuff, and we even had them like act like that they were like talking and stuff because we had some voiceovers in our audio stuff
Yeah.
where they did some talking, and we actually did because we added a pre-show where it was like that they were talking, and we actually did some stuff where we had we wanted the kids to be like part of the show, like immersive in the show. So we did like we had mics and we did recordings, and we made like a storyline with the show, and we had them record stuff. So and then we added it into our voiceovers that we had. And I actually I have like a recording of it if y'all want to see it or whatever. I don't know.
We'll
if
check it out.
Yeah, I'm
after
about to
the
say.
show.
Yeah.
But that's dope. That's sick that you guys had that like sourced in as well, like on the voiceovers and stuff like
Yeah.
that. So when you say that you had body movements, do you mean like some of the percussionists like had like cues of to do something, or you had
Yes.
other people like come in?
Nope,
to
it was
do
the
this?
percussionists.
Oh,
Like
wow.
as they were playing, they were like doing body movements and stuff. So
And then that was like part of the skit
Yep.
act out. That's pretty dope.
yeah.
Do they still do props and stuff for the concert version? Do people still do all that
Some
thing?
people do
full
props.
setup?
Yeah, we didn't do props for ours, but some like some of the concert groups like do props as well. We thought about doing one, but we kind of thought about it late, and I didn't want to add like more stuff as
a
we were
lot.
getting closer to the performance, and I was like, I don't want y'all like to mess stuff up.
Right.
For those
Yeah.
of you
Still
also,
kids at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Yeah. you say that, but like it's like, man, some
Yeah.
of that stuff gets so crazy. So what I was gonna say is, for those of you who don't know, also with WGI, even with
Yeah, what is-
Outdoor
what is
marching.
WGI?
what
What is WGI?
Winter Guard International.
Yeah, Winter Guard International.
which is just indoor marching.
Yeah.
It's indoor marching, pretty
Okay.
much. But it's winter version. So like out, like you have
So it's
regular marching season, which is
SGI.
usually during the fall, is just regular outdoor marching.
Yeah.
You know, what DCI. you
Yeah.
know, or just like regular. If you're in high school, the kids are doing just regular marching side on the field, the football field.
That's what the kids are doing these days.
And then Winter Guard's just basically it's a chance to still practice and hone in on your skills and get good at that stuff.
Okay.
Nowadays it's for a lot of schools that tend to have more money. A lot more schools are starting to do it. I would believe.
Yeah, a lot of
It was
schools
like
are
when we
doing
were
it
in high
now.
school, it wasn't as big.
No.
Winter Guard, indoor marching it was starting. I feel like to gain traction, but
Yeah.
it wasn't as popular. I think as now.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I mean, there's some good groups in this area. Claire
Yeah.
Brook was there yesterday.
dude, I remember they were doing it when we were in high school.
Yeah.
They started doing it. They
Yep.
were like one of the first in our area, I think, to actually
Yeah.
really start doing it. Their drum line was always really good.
And they're still good.
really
I
good,
saw
yeah.
them. I
They were
saw them. They were
always
good.
Were really
They
good.
didn't win it last night though. I think Cy-Fair beat them.
Really.
Yep.
Life Fair was always a really good drum line. Too.
Mhm.
I remember they were always really good too.
Yep.
But the thing is even in like band, money is a big factor.
Yeah.
And being able to produce a good show, because not only the music and how well that's executed, but it's the show and
Yep.
how many techs you have or
Yep.
conductors you have on the field. Because there's some of those bands, they have the band director, the assistant band director, maybe maybe 3 band directors, right?
Yep.
And then they have the people on the field.
Then like 10 techs.
Yeah,
Yep.
right. There's some bands that just have like 4 techs or 5 techs on the field directing people for each section.
Mhm.
We had what? I don't know, 1 tech on the field,
Yep,
maybe.
maybe.
If
Yep.
that, plus the 2 band directors.
Yep.
At the time, I remember, what was it? Our sophomore year, we had Mr. Nichols would either be directing us or he'd be on the field. Or
Yep.
Mr. B would walk around. Nichols would be up there.
Yep.
We had to make that do. Most people, when you have the more money you have, you are able to put on a big Woodlands.
I was just about to bring that
Woodlands,
up, man.
Come on, dude. It was unfair. It was unfair for everybody. Because the Woodlands area.
Yeah.
I'm sure money, right?
Right.
All money.
High school money. Their performance, dude. Because that's also when BOA was getting bigger around that time
Mhm.
too, and they got first place in the nation.
Yep. Oh yeah,
Woodlands-
they won BOA Grandads one year.
Yeah, yep. That's the whole country.
Yep.
That is insane to think about. But they're man, their setup was insane. They had so many props. Dude, they had so many extras just alone. Think about so an extra is if you're not, basically not good enough to perform in the show.
Okay. Yep.
As compared to you only have so many people you can fit into the show on the field. and then you have so many people that aren't on the level enough. So you put in as an extra. You're still marching, but you're basically pushing props around. That's
Okay.
your job. pretty
Yep.
much. You're helping push props around, set things up in the background.
Not playing.
Woodlands had so many of those people.
Mm.
I think they almost had
Aren't
our
they just
band
also
count
a
and
big-
extras.
Aren't they also just like a big ass school? Don't they
Yeah.
have, like, a lot of fucking
They
kids?
got a lot of kids.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
kids with money. So
Yep.
Well, I
setup
don't
was
think the kids
insane.
have money. Their parents might. but-
yeah, that's true. Just like the setup was insane. They had crazy props. The show was amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, and then like we said, a bunch of techs on the field. You got your band directors. You can pay all those people. Unless you
Yeah,
go
I
to
get
Dickinson
it.
High School and you can afford 2 band directors, percussion directors. But we did have a lot of people. I feel like that came and helped though.
Yeah.
A lot of people that came and helped out in the that helped us out. Shout out to all our mentors though.
Yeah.
We had some good teachers.
We did.
We did have some really good teachers. Like Mr. H was great. I'd say
Love that dude.
Yeah, Mr. Summer. Shouts out to him.
Hell
too.
yeah, dude.
I still like when I think of teaching. When I think of teaching,
I just think it's funny. You're like, shout out all our mentors, dude. So like,
They're not gonna
okay.
hear this. They're not
any,
gonna hear this.
any one of them you might want to pick
Yeah.
like to
I-
actually shout them out.
I did. I said Mr. H and Mr. Summer for sure. And I'm sure Eric has his own now that he's a teacher
Man,
himself.
Well,
there's-
he's a mentor himself, dude.
yeah, that is true. But mentors can have mentors, okay?
Oh, yeah.
It's not like a.
There's a hierarchy of the mentorship.
We gotta get to the final mentor and find out who's the mentor of all the mentors.
Oh my gosh.
At the end. But yeah, no,
Who's
it does.
God's mentor? There's the question of the day,
Who
dude.
mentored him? God. But yeah, so I mean, it's kind of a money thing, and it does suck sometimes because you could be just really good and just kill it, like you were talking about earlier. Your kids just nail it. But it is just as long as the kids feel good about what they're doing,
Yeah.
and they're learning, and they're like they're learning to be good musicians. That's the whole
Yeah.
point.
That's
That's the whole
the whole point.
Yeah, as long as that's kind of. I'm sure like it's awesome watching them like improve.
Yep.
Even from the person who may not be as good or not as confident, you watch them grow into someone who's
Yeah.
awesome. Y'all have a drum line?
We do have a drum line.
like
Yes,
for
for
regular-
for
for
marching
marching
season,
season.
yeah, we have a drum line.
Or y'all do have a drum
Yeah.
line? Like a pretty big pit and drum line, or is it like
We have a pit and drum line. Our drum line was kind of small this past year, but I mean, we have one.
like how many
There's like 7 people.
total
Yes.
in the drum line?
Yes.
Okay, so how'd you
Seven?
work
It
that? I
was-
want to know how you worked that.
It was
out.
like
7 or 70?
7.
Oh.
It was like
Not 70, I don't
Whoa,
think.
it was
Yeah,
like-
yeah.
that's a
No.
lot.
It was like 4 basses, 3 snares.
No tenors.
No. I hope we have tenors next year.
Yeah, dude, that's
And we also just got new drums. So we have like brand new basses, brand new snares, and we have brand new tenors.
when we got our new drums the first time.
Yes. That was nice. But I think we have the same exact drums that Monarch had last year. Yeah.
Super awesome.
So
Like what I was gonna say too is with that, like seeing the people who maybe weren't as confident on drums and then they're in the pit first year, you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
you see them the next year try out.
yeah.
They're killing it. Those are moments where like
Yep.
get to see them improve on their skills. Even I mean, it's kind of weird because I remember when I was in school, I always saw pit as like I would never. But there's some people who love that. Like they love playing marimba and they love like the musical aspect of that, and they love playing. You remember Josh? What's it? Yeah, Josh.
bro, right.
Oh
He-
man. Yeah.
He was always really good naturally. Yeah, dude, it's me. Always really good
Like, fuck,
at
dude,
playing in the
mine not
pit.
here?
too, and I think he actually enjoyed.
Yeah.
I wish I was one of those people. I was not a marimba player. I'm gonna be honest. I could not. I was not. What was the hardest aspect for you, like learning, going through like college?
Going through college.
Yeah.
Oh. Man, what was the class? Musicianship.
Musicianship.
What does that cover? What does that entail?
It's pretty much where you learn how to like hear like pitches, and you have to like sing, and you're like learning how to dictate like pitches and stuff like that. So you're learning how to look at the pitches, and you're singing the pitches like just by looking at it and all that stuff. Like that class was hard.
Took a lot of practice.
Yes.
Stress you out.
Yes.
Like you were like, I gotta just keep
Yeah,
doing it.
you have to
over and
like
over.
sing like lines of music and stuff like that, and you have to like hear Like they'll play like a note on the piano and like what pitch is this and like yeah.
Crazy thinking about how much time actually,
Uh,
like how much you had to learn.
that
Music
class was
theory,
so
I'm sure
hard.
was
I was better at theory than I was
Yeah.
at oral skills. So
Yeah, really?
yes.
What was your favorite part about the program going through it?
Like the ensembles and stuff, like actually playing music. Yes.
Of course, that would
Yeah.
playing the music. Your favorite part.
Yep.
The hands-on work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How did that work? Is it like how was it different bands? I don't know how the college.
You have to
system works.
audition for your ensembles.
Oh, you really?
Yeah.
Wait, is it like how we had Orange Band and everything? Is it like that?
Yeah,
or is it just,
there's-
you just can audition for whatever ensemble. and
No,
if you're good
so
enough
you're
for
in
the
a
ensemble-
pool audition for your studio. So you have like your percussion studio, flute studio. Everybody's in their own studio, right? And let's say like our percussion studio had like 25 percussionists in it. Everybody has to audition, and then you get ranked. And then depending on how many people they needed in each ensemble, so like say the top 6 people make wind ensemble, the next 7 people make symphonic band, then the next like few people whatever make concert band, and then if there's people left and you don't make it, you're not in the ensemble that semester, which could screw you because you have to have so many ensemble credits before you can graduate. Yeah.
So like if you're not good enough.
Yeah.
Wait, does it go? Is it by default like there's only a certain number of slots regardless, or is it just like you weren't good enough that you didn't make?
So there's a certain amount of spots depending on the music that they pick. So like,
Oh,
yeah,
that sucks. So you just better hope that you're good enough to make it.
one of the ensembles.
Were there a lot of people that didn't make it?
Most of the time, almost everybody was in an ensemble.
That's good.
Yeah, just because our percussion studio wasn't like huge, and that's because I think they only accepted a certain amount of people. Like they didn't accept everybody that applied for the music studio or
That
whatever.
makes sense.
Yeah, so
Probably why it's a pretty good school to go.
yeah,
You know, they're not.
they
hey,
don't just
let's-
accept everybody.
Let's overdo our load here so that way
Yeah.
we're all stressed out and no one's getting good teaching.
Yeah.
We can
no.
waste a bunch of people's time by sending them home, not letting them get an ensemble
Yeah.
type shit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. I
Yeah.
mean, some schools are like that. It's just
I'm
like, hey, you
sure.
show
Yeah,
up
like,
and you go home.
Like UNT is one of those. Like they accept
Yeah.
like their percussion studio is like 150 people. So like
Jesus
It's really
Christ.
competitive.
yes,
probably.
so like only like not even a quarter of those people make ensembles every semester. It's ridiculous.
Damn.
I guess that's good if you're in the competitive spirit. You know?
Yeah.
If you just want to learn and be a good teacher, you know, Sam Houston's your place. If you're competitive and you're like, I want to be a great musician,
Yeah.
and I just want to challenge.
But you better
myself.
make sure you're better than all those other people there so that you make an ensemble.
That's tough.
Yeah.
Because you show up every semester and you realize you're not good enough, so you just give up on your dream.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Hopefully not to that.
That's crazy.
That is though. That is. I mean, that's not fun. I'm
No.
paying all that money to show up and be like, that's a lot of kids.
Yeah.
Damn. 150.
That's why they have
like, would
like
you say
for
like half-
people that
half
do
that?
like jazz band and stuff. That's why they have like 8 jazz bands.
Jesus.
That would make.
It's crazy.
Y'all have like half that, or like how many kids did y'all have in your?
I have like 20.
Really?
Yes.
20 kids in.
Maybe. I think we maybe had less than that.
Really?
Yes.
In all of the program?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
I mean, and then like every single year, a couple graduate, and then a couple more get accepted. And so,
Damn, and all of y'all got accepted in, like
yeah.
you, Joisha,
Yeah.
Jacob,
Yep. Chandler. Yep. All of
Chandler,
us.
all y'all got accepted
Well,
into.
Dr. Lane really loved Dickinson percussionists because we were all really good.
That is.
So he just kept accepting us from Dickinson.
He's like, honestly, y'all honestly were like all of y'all two were like really hard work,
yeah.
really good. We did have some like.
Even Derek got accepted, but he left.
Well, he was there. That's what I was thinking. He
Yeah.
was there for a little bit, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, he lives in Austin now.
Yeah. He's doing good though. I still talk to him every now and then. So
Yeah, that's good.
Oh.
That's good. Man, sometimes I wish I would have stayed in for music. I'm still gonna. I mean, in my career, I'm still like be around music.
Yeah.
It's not like education.
Hey,
I don't have-
education's not for everybody.
I don't have patience.
It's
yeah,
yeah,
no,
it's not for
me.
everybody.
It's definitely
And
not. I would-
definitely, if it's not for you, don't do it.
yeah,
Yeah,
100%.
yeah, definitely don't.
Love music,
Yeah.
but teaching it would just. I would know. I would just
Yeah.
waking up early. I'd be tired, and then someone would say something. How
Yeah,
many times I gotta teach you this? No.
yeah.
I
Man.
definitely would probably get stressed out a little.
Hey,
Just
and
think
I
about
still
it.
think about that too, because I'm not a morning person, so I still
Yeah.
don't know why I decided to teach. Sometimes I'm not a morning person. I can do it, but like waking up at 5, 6 in the morning is not for me.
Yeah, no.
Did you have to write the
Or-
music too?
Oh no, thankfully no.
Okay, you didn't write it.
No.
You don't write like the percussion parts. or anything
Nope.
Like that?
We hire people to do that stuff. But like for the show that we did, like for this indoor stuff, I actually pre-bought like there's the websites of people that like that write that stuff and then publish them, and then you can buy them. So we bought this show, but a lot of these concert pieces. There's not a lot of them, so I think I've kind of exhausted the ones online. So I may have to hire somebody to write it.
Write
But like we
something
have a
original.
writing team, like for our outdoor stuff. The dude that teaches at Monarch, Taha, and Andy Filipiak. They write the percussion stuff, and they wrote the percussion stuff for our marching band, or for our percussion parts for a marching band last year. So if we do indoor again, like next year, I might reach out to them and see if they can write our show. And then we may have to tackle the designing stuff, because I don't know
yeah.
much. I don't know how much money we have to like do the entire show. Like we can hire somebody to write the parts.
You hear that,
So,
people?
yeah.
Give them some money. We'll fucking get a design team going. We'll get a fucking original fucking song or fucking what's it called?
Composition.
Is it composition?
What are you talking about?
Or like a collection of songs, like for like a show. There you go. I'll just use a show.
I was like, where are you
Uh,
going?
use
I was trying to
an
figure out what
original
he was
show
saying.
that is written with a great design team. Give us money, everybody.
Not us, give him money. No,
Well,
no.
give us money too. We'll give it to him.
I didn't. I didn't realize how much. Thinking about it, I didn't realize how much actually goes into putting those shows together.
Yeah, because a lot of those groups that do that stuff actually have a whole design team, and I mean it's money, pretty much.
That's what I'm saying,
Yeah,
like,
it's
that's a
all
lot.
money. It's like a lot. Like we bought our show, so we didn't spend like a huge amount of money to do our stuff. But like a lot of these groups that do like that win all this stuff, they have like professional design teams and that do like all of this stuff. Like they have one person that is like the head design stuff, and they have people that handle the design, like the overall show, the tarp, the music, everything, the arrangements, all of the stuff. Like so, like they have a whole thing that goes into all that stuff. So
That's a lot. That's
yeah,
extensive.
it's a lot.
Then you break it down, and then from there you have to every director having to do their own part.
Yeah.
Play into that.
So
And also learning the music and figuring out how you're gonna fit your instructions into that as
Yep.
well, and then how your kids are gonna play that music. And I'm sure the like choosing process alone is
yep.
like, how good is your band, and you have to know your strengths and weaknesses of everybody.
Oh
How well
yeah,
they're gonna be able to do.
it's a lot.
Hey man, but you do it. Wake up every day and hope to get better.
Yep.
It's
That's
a
how you do
process.
it.
Hey man, you're killing it. And I'm like, once you get back in there and you're feeling great, I'm sure you're gonna be full throttle.
Oh, I can't wait.
Yeah, I'm sure,
I'm
like-
ready.
Like you said, you miss those kids too. It's one of those things. It's like you did it, and then like taking the break, you're like ready to get back
Yeah.
out there, and you're ready to just hop back on that horse and just.
Yep.
What are you most excited about when you go back?
Just like getting back in it. Like I just ready to start doing it, and hopefully leaving cancer way behind in the past,
Yeah.
and just like getting to do what I love, pretty much.
Yeah,
so,
absolutely.
Not
yeah.
having to focus on that at all anymore. you know,
Yeah.
just like being that like that was a piece of your life, but then it's like it's not your life anymore. You know what I
Yeah.
mean, like you're able to be Eric Robertson.
Yep.
Just Eric Robertson again.
Yep.
That's
So-
More
cool.
power to you, dude.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. I feel like I'm glad that you were comfortable talking about it, 'cause I think that it really is an inspiration to a lot of people to see that like even like life's biggest and bitchiest problems can happen, and you can still go back to doing what you love on the like once you get to the other side of that
Yeah.
bullshit that you had to go through. And honestly, like the fact that you caught it early, the fact that you were able to get the treatment, as horrible as that process was and grueling as it was, it's great to have you with us here today. You know what I mean? Like, I'm glad that that process brought you to the person that you are today, at least. Because this world is better with you than without you. Those kids need you, and so I'm really glad that they're gonna be able to have their band director back.
Thank you, man, dude. I'm an open book. I'll talk about this. I even talk about this stuff with my kids. Yeah. We've had a lot of dark humor jokes.
That's what gets
it's
people
great.
through it, man.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, it's tough. It's tough.
Dude,
Like,
love
humor
it.
is a good way to power through that stuff, because if you just like hold on to it and you're sad about it,
Yeah.
It'll eat you alive.
It's great. So I'm
I'm glad that they're able to do that
Yeah.
too.
Especially my high school kids, I make a bunch of dark humor with them.
And they're like, should we laugh? They're like looking around, should we laugh?
Yeah, we've even gotten past that stage. They just crack jokes out of nowhere. They just laugh. I'm just like, all right, I'll remember that. It's like,
That's funny.
it's great.
If there was one thing you would tell the people right now, anything, a message you would give to the listeners, what would it be?
Man, just no matter what happens, life throws shit at you left and right. You just got to be positive about everything. Just find the one little bit of positivity that you have and just keep going. That's what I did. It's been working for me no matter what. I just kicked the negativity right in the ass. All right?
Yeah, dude. Find that light at the end of your tunnel and follow it.
Yeah, buddy.
Yes, sir. We're going to wrap it up there. We do appreciate you for coming on, Eric. Honestly, it was a great conversation.
Yes, sir.
Great catching up. Honestly, reminded me of a lot of things I missed. Just the music and the camaraderie and stuff like that.
Yes, sir.
It's been a good time. Thank you for talking about, your journey. Thank you for talking about all the things that you have to deal with on a daily basis. Great. Anything that you would like to say as well, Josh, on some closing words here?
Just everybody live life to the fullest. You never know what's tomorrow's gonna hold.
Amen.
Do what you can with today. Thank you, Doofles, for sponsoring this podcast. And like, comment, subscribe. Everybody, we'll see you next week.
See you next week. Y'all take care. Thank you guys.
All right.